1, 2, 3, 4. Then this opens business. 2, 3. Look behind. Now, no. Look at the paper. The paper. Yeah. Now we can go downstage. 1, 2, 3. This is an open foot, but you're looking at the window. It's behind for all practical. Now, you go in that direction. 2, 3. Your feet will reverse, your gaze stays. No, your gaze is to the audience. Now, you keep your body there. 1, 2. Keep your body there. 3. Keep your body there. Your gaze stays there. Now, your facing changes to the wall. 1, 2. Keep your facing. 3. Keep change. Now, we're going to reverse the feet, and the gaze comes to the door. Yeah, this is a full one. This one here was a quarter. 1, 2, 3. Then what?
Half turn, upstage.
This way.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Is this one of those where you put this and you lean back?
Well,
For the face?
You're here. This is 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is both feet going that way, and you have to kind of lean forward to get a backward thing. That's the thing. When the foot is open, it's much easier to do the backward thing, right? But if both feet are going there, then leave your foot open here. No, both feet are going. This is everything to the wall, then just the foot. Nothing changes. Now, this is the same funny business here. Now, change your focus to the. Now we go downstage. 1, 2, 3. The foot goes to the paper, the eyes go to the windows. Now we're going to walk to the windows. 2, 3. Now, reverse the direction, and the gaze is to the closet. Right? Should we do that much again, or go on?
I'd like to do it. You're not doing this? You know, I don't know it all, but I just don't go on. Oh, well, let's do it this time.
Let's do it again.
1, 2, wall. 1, 2, no, it's that open business. Foot. Change you're facing to the paper on that left. Now, downstage. 2. Foot opens, gaze goes to window. Then, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3. Feet reverse, gaze goes to closet. Yeah. Now, this is the funny part. Keep your torso where it is. Your feet are going to go toward the paper, and the torso is going to, and the face are going to stay toward the closet. 1, 2. Now your feet are going to go upstage. Your torso remains in that same relationship. So your torso will be facing the closet. No. The paper. The paper. There's no closet behind that paper? This is the first of 8 photos from Grand Union Dreams. Shirley was a mortal. Fernando and Balda were heroes. I was one of the gods. It was done about a year ago. In this first photo, Epp and James are engaged in a duet. David and Yvonne have just finished dragging them on the fake grass in a small arc. When they stand, they undulate their upper bodies in unison while passing the red ball back and forth. They are about to pick up the grass and involve it in their undulations. Valda waits. My question is, what does it mean? Are they celebrating something? Yes, that sounds good. Epp and James are doing a dance of pleasure at the advent of spring.
It actually was spring when we began working on this piece, and I first met you, Fernando. I think some people went over to your house after that first rehearsal.
You asked if we had any booze. That was where I first had a hint of your humor, the look on your face when you asked.
Yes, I remember the look you gave me. I thought, oh, I'm discovered in my discomfort, but he's sympathetic.
Ah, there's the suitcase, and there's Tricia. Tricia has come down from Olympus and has laboriously poled her way toward the group of mortals who are putting the squeeze on the heroes, especially on Epp, who is squeezing the red ball. In this photo, she has just said, she is my very dear friend, and I don't like seeing her caught in the middle.
And there's Fernando in the box.
With suitcase. Why does Fernando have the suitcase? Is he going away or has he just arrived? Why is he in the box with the suitcase? Is he trying it out as a body-supporting device? And what is in the suitcase? Dirty socks?
The complete works of Aristotle in Greek. On the stairs. I was going up the stairs and I heard my name. I didn't even know who was calling me, but I felt it in my spine. Something about your voice, and I turned around and it was you.
Uh-huh. I didn't know there was anything special about my voice at that time, but I distinctly remember seeing you on the stairs and realizing for the first time that you really were going to be taking this thing seriously. And I felt a strong surge of liking for you, and that must have shown in my voice.
I was always aware of your presence. It was equivocal, sometimes sinister, and that it didn't declare itself, especially on that ride we took into the Mennonite country with Shirley and Lena. I didn't know what you were about or who you were attracted to.
Actually, I hadn't intended to ask you to go, but somehow, meeting you by accident like that, passing through the doorway, I did it on the spur of the moment.
Yes, and I immediately asked if Shirley and Lena could come because I didn't want to be alone with you.
Then he kept coming to the house with those messages for you.
That really confused me. Not that I thought much about it in a personal way, but rather, you know, in that way that one does when you are trying to figure out someone else's intentions, whether or not they are directed at you. So I didn't really think anything about him personally until you told me about those talks you had with him about me. I think then I began to look at you differently, maybe with more curiosity. When we went to the theater that night, I was very aware that you were sitting next to me. I don't know how aware I was that you had maneuvered to sit next to me. Do you remember, when the whole audience stood up so enthusiastically, I turned and looked at you as if to say, oh Christ, do we have to do this too? And we stood up.
Yes, I remember. Then later, I sat next to you in the pancake house, and at what point, I took out a pencil, and I was writing something which you noticed in a certain way. I was embarrassed.
The night of our last performance, you said after it was over that you'd be coming to New York and that you'd like to look me up. I told you my address and said that information had my phone number. Then later at that small party, I was aware of you, for no particular reason. You were across the room talking to Donald. I made that gesture with a bottle of brandy, offering the last drop to anyone who wanted it before I wolfed it down. And finally, you sprang laughing up and accepted the bottle. Then later, you were lying down. As I started to leave, on impulse, I went over and lay down on top of you, saying, goodbye, Fernando, thinking it was the last time I was going to see you there. Almost instantaneously, as though you were expecting me to come to you, you grasped the back of my head and drew me down to your chest. You caressed my hair and sighed deeply. Then there was all that confusion about who would drive us to the airport. We didn't expect you.
Yes, I didn't know what to think either, although I sort of knew. I guess I was just a little uncomfortable because you had already showed me that piece he had written for you.
I regretted that later. It seemed too intimate to show to anyone, even to Shirley, but I was still not ready to acknowledge your intentions toward me. So for the moment I had to pretend it was not as intimate or private as it later seemed to me. By the time you arrived to drive us to the airport, I knew what was going on and I was getting excited.
What made you excited?
It was like the excitement of performance, experiencing my beauty and value when all those eyes are focused on me. I am at my best as a performer.
Why did you have to wait before getting excited? Don't you ever experience attraction to someone before you are sure whether or not they are attracted to you?
Yeah, sure. But I really wasn't in that frame of mind a year ago. You know what I had just come out of. I was very depressed, so I wasn't able to use my eyes too well. Besides, I really do enjoy performing.
Okay.
When we went back to find your...
Wait, Yvonne, were you reading that?
What?
Those questions.
Yes, why do you want to know?
I just wondered. Sorry, Fernando.
We went back to find your eye shade, went upstairs, looking through the rooms. There was hardly any light.
I wondered why you didn't touch me, wondered why I didn't touch you.
I stood on the landing beside the doorway as we were going back downstairs. I thought you would have to squeeze through.
Oh, God, you gave me so much room.
What else happened while we were rehearsing that piece?
The hotel.
The hotel. That's where I first got a sense of certain aspects of your mind that made you seem very different to me. I was lying on the bed and you were sitting on it. I can't remember now exactly what led us to talking about Henry Miller.
Somehow we got into who influenced him. And I said Blaise Cendrars influenced him, and we started to argue. Only it wasn't an argument because I simply repeated my opinion while you repeated yours.
Yes, I was trying to remember the name of someone else. I still think that it was someone else. His name started with a K.
No, it was Blaise Cendrars.
Sandrar, I think. So how the hell did that give you a sense of her mind? Did that seem like obscure information or something?
It just had to do with that moment, and yes, I guess her access to that particular information.
Here the mortals have become an inexorable wall, shuffling forward on Kleenex box shod feet. On the right, one of the gods, David, is walking about in great agitation in very squeaky shoes. Doug stands behind Valda, obscuring her face with a gray cardboard disc. Dong stands behind Doug with a microphone. Doug reads a speech from Jung about how if you don't pass through the inferno of your passions, you'll never overcome them. Whenever we give up, quote, whenever we give up, leave behind, and forget too much, there is always the danger that the things we have neglected will return with added force, unquote. Somehow I transposed that into David's squeaky, agitated walk, understated passion. Fernando walks backwards before the greedy wall. They are eating from a big pot, as you can see. Fernando says,
"See how cruel they look. Their lips are thin, their noses sharp, their faces furrowed and distorted by falls. Their eyes have a staring expression. They are always seeking something. What are they seeking? They always want something. They are always uneasy and restless. I do not know what they want. I do not understand them. I think that they are mad."
That's also from Jung. He quotes a Pueblo Indian about the white man. The mortals have become cruel white men.
I want to finish about the airport. I have to tell you this. When you kissed me goodbye, or rather, you were leaning against that rail with your feet crossed the way you do, and I moved in to kiss you goodbye because people had begun to board the plane. You reached for the back of my neck with your left hand and drew me toward you. Your right arm was bent, so your forearm was against your chest. As you pressed me against you and we kissed, my breast momentarily rested against your hand, which didn't move.
Yes, is that what made you think of those lines? All day he sits before you face to face like a card player. Your elbow brushes his elbow. If you should speak, he hears.
The touched heart madly stirs.
Bullshit.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Yvonne, get with it.
Okay. Go on. I'm really enjoying all this.
Then I watched very carefully while you kissed Lena, and I saw that it wasn't the same at all. You see, I was still not clear.
It was so obvious.
As I said before, I wasn't in a state of mind to think of such things.
When I got into New York, I tossed a coin about whether to call you.
What would you have done if it had come out tails?
I would have called you anyway, but I would have felt it was all wrong.
You're funny.
Now the hero James is reaching the climax of his brief odyssey. Tanis in the wings, harpy or avenging angel, waits to mount his back at the most difficult stage of his journey. Fernando and Valda aid and impede him at the same time, supplying resistance and support to his forward lean. The gods wait expectantly on Mount Olympus. This episode resolves itself as James, with Tanis riding piggyback, clambers up the stairs. On reaching the top, they crumple into the waiting arms of the gods, who then lower them to the floor on the other side of Olympus. As they are lowered, Yvonne reads from Jung. At the beginning of the illness, I had the feeling that there was something wrong with my attitude, and that I was to some extent responsible for the mishap. But when one affirms things as they are, without subjective protests, accepts the conditions of existence as one sees them, accepts one's own nature as one happens to be, when one lives one's own life, then one must take mistakes into the bargain. Life would not be complete without them. There is no guarantee, not for a single moment, that we will not fall into error or stumble into deadly peril. We may think there is a sure road, but that would be the road of death. Then nothing happens any longer. At any rate, not the right things. Anyone who takes the sure road is as good as dead.
Such righteous sentiments. Now at this remove from that peace, it seems terribly burdened with a kind of relentless truth-mongering.
What do you mean? In this last speech, Jung seems anything but righteous. Righteousness connotes a certainty that he is arguing against.
It's the tone of self-congratulation or complacency of someone who has had a revelation and is laying it out. Anyone who takes the sure road is as good as dead. Really. Maybe it's simply the fact of isolating such things from a longer text that bugs me. I just don't like the sound of it.
Well, you know, Shirley, that I have always had a weakness for the sweeping revelations of great men. That's why I'm going at this concert so differently. The line, "Oh God, you gave me so much room," is really very much more moving to me than anything I used last year, even though on an aesthetic level, I'm simply doing another form of storytelling, more intimate, less epic.
What do you mean, "Oh God, you gave me so much room"?
For heaven's sakes, we've just been going through that. We said it was in the text. It's about these two people who are very attracted to each other, and they go up in this room, and there's not much light, and they're looking for this eye shade, and they're maneuvering around, and neither one of them is really sure of the other one's feelings, and there's this little landing, and they go out on this landing, and the guy goes out on the landing, and he thinks he's not leaving her much room, and that she'll have to squeeze through, and later on he tells her that. When he tells her, she says, "Oh God, you gave me so much room."
Were you saying that or reading it?
I was remembering it from Hofstra.
I get it. Let's go on. I'm tired of all this. Shirley is telling Fernando how she put it off as long as she could. But finally, she went up to see the pictures of the rehearsal. Fernando is hardly listening.
She's thinking, what is she thinking?
You look like an old-time movie star. She's complaining about how she doesn't want to do it anymore.
He says, then don't.
She thinks about leaving the room.
She finds his inscrutability pretty hard to take. She wonders what he would do if she left the room. Would he feel remorseful, or would he follow her?
She resents the fact that he always seems on top of the situation. She would like him to speak to her.
He's very tired of her indecisiveness. He says what?
She says she doesn't know what to do with herself.
See, there's a lot of time to
Yeah.
And you don't have to talk all through it, just put in an occasional comment about I mean, we don't have to fill up that time with everything that may be going on.
Right.
She's wondering why he doesn't say anything. She really wants him to talk to her.
She can't bear his indifference.
She wants to know why she's afraid.
She says that she's worked in a form, always, which disappears as soon as it reveals itself. She does not want to be observed as fixed and final.
She embraces him because she realizes that he may feel as frustrated as she.
She's surprised that she's told him about her ephemeral nature.
She's thinking, what is it about him? She can't figure it out. Whether it's his cunning or his docility. It always puts her on the defensive, makes her focus on herself.
He asks her whether she's afraid of failing.
Here he's looking into her eyes.
She doesn't want to talk about it anymore. She feels he's not very sympathetic.
But Fernando is very confused. He doesn't know what she's talking about. She really confused him. He loses the track of the issues all the time. He only asks, why don't you come with me? But the only answer that he gets is, do you have any money?
That comes a little later. There.
She says, do you have any money?
Valda is disconsolate. She's remembering a visit to John's house. It was in the country. She enjoyed the fresh air, the flowers and the birds, food, vegetables from the garden. She said it was so beautiful she thinks maybe she'd like to live there forever. She talks about a movie they saw together. They both cried. There was an old woman in the film whose performance affected her very deeply. As usual, John had turned critical when they left the theater and deemed his previous opinion sentimental. She's used to this kind of response in him. You might describe it that way, Valda replies. It's also a story about a man who loves a woman and can't leave her when he falls in love with another woman. I mean, he can't seem to make up his mind. Or I could tell it from the point of view of the first woman. She loves him and endures his cruelties. Yes, cruelties. You see, from her vantage point, his weaknesses become cruelties. Yes, endures his cruelties because he always returns to her. And although she won't acknowledge it, she really does think, no, feel, that she can't live without him. How did she ever get into such a fix? She also thinks that he loves her best and that love will finally conquer all. After all, he always returns to her, doesn't he? Or I could tell it through the eyes of number 2 woman. She loves him and wants him to leave number 1. She even gets pregnant. Then her own husband demands a divorce. He's had enough. How did she ever get herself into such a fix? But I don't care to dwell on number 2. How can such things continue to happen? As I said before, he can't make up his mind. Then number 1 gets sick, so he stays with her but doesn't give up number 2. Or rather, number 2 doesn't leave him. I don't want to make it sound as though he holds the controls, even though the 2 women sometimes act as though he does.
Which woman is the director most sympathetic to?
I think number one, maybe simply because she appears first.
Now, John is thinking of a particular event. It happened about 6 months earlier. He was outside their house, and some muggers attacked him. And she had come out of the house and screamed. And if he hadn't heard her scream, he would have plunged the knife that he'd taken out of his pocket into his would-be attacker's throat. And later she'd clung to him. She seemed very excited and vulnerable, and he was very perplexed by this. And he felt rather bitter. They made love, but his mind was half elsewhere. I was reading a part that John would have read. I forgot to mention that I'm going to be, I don't know, did I mention that I'm going to be taking some of John's parts?
Balda says that they're waiting for Shirley, and that it would be a good idea for Shirley to go now. Shirley says they can wait because she has always wanted to speak to Balda to tell her how impressed she is with her. She was particularly impressed with something that Balda had said, which was that Asia is not clay in the hands of the West.
Here she said, wait a minute, but she leaves, and he doesn't know where did she go.
Here they're waiting for her to come back. And she doesn't come back.
Here comes Jones to pick up Fernando. The train will be leaving soon, and he's worried about being late. He's going to Chile.
Very good.
Shirley tells Balda how fond she is of her, what a dear friend she is, and how she hates seeing her caught in the middle.
Balda replies that Shirley shouldn't worry about her. She thought she'd made her decision, but now she's not so sure, and that's what's confusing her.
Shirley is surprised because she thought that Balda was sure.
Well, Balda says it's not as easy as all that because other people become affected by the decisions one makes. And what will Nina and Teresa do?
Shirley tells Valda about a dream she had.
I had a dream about a wall. The wall is not concrete or metal. It is steel mesh like the fence in a schoolyard. There are no doors. Rather, it's the kind of a wall that I would like to climb rather than walk through a ready-made door. I do climb the wall, and it feels terrific. I'm stretching my body as I climb, feeling the pull on my legs and arms as I reach the top and climb over. I enjoy going down the other side. What I like about this wall is that I have no fear of being locked out or locked in. I can always get in or out by climbing, by my own physical nimbleness and agility. On the other side, I find that I am in a schoolyard, which is in fact the schoolyard of the school across the street from the house where I was born. There are no children in the schoolyard on this day, although it is a beautiful spring day. I run around freely, the wind blowing in my hair. I am happy, bouncing a large volleyball. I bounce it up and down and against a brick side wall. It feels good just to run around and be free and have all that space to myself. I feel my body stretching, and I'm running around the yard very fast, but I am full of energy, not at all tired. I have an enormous sense of great physical well-being, of a stretching and toning up of all my limbs and the back of my neck. When I wake up, I am really happy. I remember that I have caught a glimpse of something alive and free within me.
Valda thanked Shirley. She says she's made her feel much better. Shirley says she'll leave now while she still has time to catch the train. She doesn't find it very easy to go. When Valda received this package in the mail and saw who it was from, she was longing to open it and could hardly wait until her friend left. But suddenly she felt less anxious. She wondered what she was getting into receiving gifts from him.
The face of this character is a fixed mask. We shall have her wear an eye shade to reveal her inner and outer appearance. The eye shade hides the movement of the upper half of her face, but the lower half, where the tongue works, stays visible. She must function with a face of stone, and at the same time reveal her characteristic dissembling.
Here he's coming back from Santiago. finding that funny letter that he doesn't know where it comes from.
Bella asks if they had a good time, and he says, so-so.
And she asked him if he had missed her. And of course, he missed her a lot.
She decides to look at the letter later. She asks if he received her letter and where he was in the house when he read it.
I was in the living room talking to Nina when Teresa came in with the mail and handed me a letter. I looked at it, saw that it was from you, and stuck it in my shirt pocket. I had to finish my business with Nina. Later, I took it out of my pocket on the way upstairs. I paused halfway up the stairs to open the envelope, read the letter hurriedly, then continued on up to the bedroom to sit and pore over it.
I'm sorry about the whole thing, mostly for myself, of course, but after that for you. I think if you can stand it, you should take him back. I will probably change my mind and want him back, but I don't know how to phrase it, except that I suppose that he is split, and I thought I could put them back together, but I can't. And you have the constant half, and I'm simply not satisfied with the other transitory half that he gives me, that in the atrocious novel that is his emotional life represents the evil feminine principle. I don't know how I got stuck in that category, but I'm stuck there in his neat little box labeled emotional, childish, demanding, bitchy, undisciplined, unintellectual, pleasure-oriented, etc. ad nauseum, while you are apparently in an equally untrue box labeled unemotional, mature, fair, disciplined, etc. Passion versus companionship, sex versus work, child mother versus sister friend, and countless more sickening, cliche-ridden, schizophrenic categorizations, which I am sure are as unfair to you as they are to me. But maybe you are stronger and cleverer than me and can live with the pattern or break it. I can do neither. I think he needs you. Anyway, he needs somebody who won't let herself be destroyed by him. And unfortunately or fortunately, I am not that person. For one thing, I have less to fall back on every time he is cruel. Less work, less friends, less emotional independence, less experience with his cruelty than you have. You have all that time with him to build on. I thought that wouldn't be so important because I thought we would live in the present, but he won't. He's either wallowing about in his past or cruelly tempting us both with impossible futures, putting off making a life with me until we go away, get a house in the country, have children, etc., all of which he can't do. And even if he could, it wouldn't help because it's external. Anyway, dear lady, I used to be afraid of you, but I am not anymore. It's him who is hurting me, not you, and I am free to like you, which I do. I gather that you're unhappy right now, but maybe that will make it easier for you and him to get back together. He is very unhappy, too, and I can't help him. He doesn't really seem to want those things that perhaps he reproached you for not providing. I think he wants an essentially homosexual relationship, only with a woman instead of a man. Maybe you can make a good life with him. I hope so. I'm sick of all this unhappiness all the time. He doesn't deserve to punish himself so much. He's only bad because he demands to be so good. And I think he really does love you much more than he will ever love anybody else. Most of the time, I have felt that I am just some kind of strut or support in some incredibly complex and probably painfully beautiful structure, which is his relationship to you, which should flatter you immensely, but it sort of makes me feel a little stupid. I really think I deserve to have my own structure somehow, built by someone and me about us. Anyway, that's what I think, and I'm not sure why I feel I should tell you, but I feel some kind of compulsion to explain things to myself by telling other people. And also, I just wanted to tell you that I like you, and that you should take him away from me now. Not that I have him, but you know what I mean. And really, I think it would be the best thing for him and me, and maybe you, although it would be presumptuous of me to pretend I know what you need. But if you need a very complex love, he has that for you.
Do you think that I should say that?
What?
I mean about admitting that I feel superior.
Shirley is she's asking John what he thinks of the performance, what he thought of the last performance. And he said he liked some of it, and some of it he disliked intensely. And he was in such a bad mood at the end of it that he couldn't even applaud, and he couldn't come backstage. He apologizes, but he says, you wouldn't want me to pretend I was enthusiastic when I wasn't, would you? And she said, no. But I'm just sorry that you can't take pleasure in a friend's success. And he says, well, I must admit that a couple of hours later, I felt pretty threatened by it, and I was wondering what I was going to do next. And she's amused by that. And she says, well, at least you're forthright. Shirley asks Valda, how did you feel?
Oh, I didn't really know what I was doing. There was so little time for adequate preparation, and I didn't always know what was expected of me. I mean, if I come in a door and see you two here, what am I supposed to register? Fear? Surprise? Nothing?
I don't know what to do next. I feel like a shell. I am so afraid.
Fernando's watching them.
She says to him that they were discussing the performance. And he asked if they want something from the delicatessen because he was going to get some cigarettes. But she tells him to wait, that she wants to show him something. And also that the delicatessen is closed. Here they are back in the studio, and Fernando's saying to her, why did she show her that? That he had seen it 100 times. Though she said that she does it differently now, that she understands it better. But he said that looks the same for him.
He asks if they're waiting for the others, meaning Epp and Jim and Yvonne. And Yvonne is coming, meanwhile. You know, I realize you can save your back. What am I doing? I'm not doing that. As long as the hands are in, the arms are always in in this slot, Fernando. They never, you see, it's as though a string between the hands were always parallel to the wall. Yeah. Okay, this is the beginning, the end of one. Now this left one is going to chase the right. Think of it that way, maybe. And they just about meet ahead, a little bit ahead of your body. Now they start separating to make 180 degrees. This is parallel to the wall, perpendicular to the floor. Then you keep this 180 degrees and you start turning your body. And now you bring the left one up. Yeah, keep turning your body toward me, bring it around. Yeah. Now you start walking in the other direction. And start chasing the right hand again. Now you can start walking, look, again. Avoid the step, the other step. You're either walking backwards or you turn, you use as few steps as possible to turn. Oh, wait, look, no, I know. No, not the cup. Not the cup, the angle.
Well, I think it was
Because you had the cup. Should I be here and you all behind?
Yeah, then we can keep seeing you.
How long were you here? Were you here for a good portion of time, so it can be cut?
Then we broke up. I don't know. I really think it's
How long?
They really fight.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, Shirley is already in position, I see the entrance of Fernando, and I stay a long time, and there is something happening in the box.
Yeah.
I pan again, and I see you more or less.
Yeah.
I pan again, and I pan 3 times, and then.
Were we fighting long enough for you to get enough?
There are plenty.
Okay.
Yes, I guess.
Some of us feel that the box is really very precarious and it stops us doing things.
I think it's this floor.
We did it at hospital.
I was in that box and I didn't feel that it was...
Because it was standing on the wires. There were wires behind it, and
It wasn't on the...
well, I mean, it was sort of precarious.
It was not apparent.
I think that all the time is there.
Yeah.
You are afraid that just to feel like you really, the box will not.
It has to be all the whole length of it. Okay.
Yeah, but it's better to be a little bit like that.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah.
Who hasn't gotten that?
This piece is really related to my solo. I mean, I never thought of that.
How is it?
Because a lot of the solo is built on the torso turning against the hips.
That's all my...
Maybe it is. It's really very this way, very archaic.
This might...
Without letting this happen.
Those so peaceful, these
Yeah,
that.
that's true. That's absolutely true.
Well, can we,
Get on it.
can we, no, just take it from where we left off last.
Which is here.
She's up here.
Then we could go back to this.
I don't feel like starting over.
Yeah. Now keep your body and here. Paper. Now keep your body to the wall. Wait, Shirley. Wait, Shirley. Go back to this. Yeah. Now the steps, the feet go to the window, the body faces the wall. No, not the paper, the wall. Paper, wall, window, closet. Scissors, rock. Where are we? Okay, I'm going to do a special thing here. We're going to start. We're going to start with some of you in the box and others of us. We will get out in character. Whatever you're doing, just start walking in that direction. Just then walk straight off. Right. Okay, you're doing that. Fernando's in the box. Followed. Babette will say, do you want more, Fernando and...
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I have one question. It's not about what we're going to do. It's about...
Not to be so long.
No.
I have 20 seconds.
When we look over our shoulder, we make it 2 times we do something here.
He's not trying to hear.
What gets us over here then to do?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. And then
The one I forgot. Okay, thank you.
Then you start
You do this twice, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing I was confused about. Okay. Can you select this?
This thing
Floor hurts.
yeah.
Then you go over this way.
When do we do that box? We'll
Go where?
look straight ahead. And it seems that we didn't look straight ahead, though.
What do you want?
I think
Too late for what?